GLive.
GLive. Hello,
Did you just
welcome
dab?
everyone. Yeah, that's how we do. Yes, welcome back to GLive Game Night. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Tonight we are joined by DM Lance and DM Paul G from the Greasy Snitches because tonight we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Because all the cool kids play Dungeons and Dragons now. But first, a little housekeeping first. If you are watching us on Facebook, please do share this stream to your friends, to your family, to your dungeon master,
Enemies.
to your enemies.
Your bane, your pinaka enemy in the whole world. Parang yung reverse best friend. How do you say that? Worst
Reverse
friend.
frenemy, your rival.
Every board game
Yeah, right,
opponent
right.
I have.
There
Oh
you go.
wow!
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. We are also live in YouTube right now. Yes, on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so that you can get awesome content from us, where we talk about board gaming, and anything under the sun. Because that's how we do. Where? Here.
Wala, the fusion type.
What happens if we fuse together? But yes, tonight we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of things happening nowadays. We just had Stranger Things season 4 and Dungeons and Dragons have been a huge part of it. So we've seen a resurgence of D&D and live game of D&D, not just online game, because we love physically rolling dice, jumping up and down, and if you roll a crit. There's also a lot of D&D now in media. We just had a successful show in Amazon featuring Critical Role and The Legend of Vox Machina. We also have from previous years Big Bang Theory have been playing it, Community have been playing it, everyone is playing D&D. So tonight is the perfect night where we talk about what is D&D, how do you play it, and why do we play it. Yes. We do have a question of the stream right now, Willow, right?
Yeah. Before we do that, please do say hi in chat. Say hello to your friends, also the chatters right now. We'll read those chats later, but we do have a question of the stream. Our question of the stream is: if you are going to play D&D, what is your class and race?
Yes.
Maybe we could give like samples of classes and races so that our friends on stream would have an idea of what those are. If you have any idea of what D&D is, magsabi lang kayo, answer the question of the stream. If you don't have any knowledge dun sa D&D, you make your own class and your own race. That is pwede. I think allow it. Yeah.
If you played any MMORPG or any Diablo or Warcraft, all of those things can be like stemmed from
Converted
D&D.
to a D&D character.
Yeah.
So, parating pa lang tayo sa
exactly.
exciting part.
Yo,
Do that.
There you go.
Wait, anong grace and class ni Dr. Jill from
But yeah, let us know in the chat kung ano yung D&D class and race niyo. But let's have our guests also answer that. Maybe in one of your games or your favorite that you've played, a class and a race you've played. Let us know. Welcome nga pala si DM Lance and DM Paul from Greasy Snitches.
Yes.
Most of you guys know them. Some of you guys know them from All Aboard last
week.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's ask maybe DM Lance could go first. Your favorite class and race?
Oh my gosh. My friends here, DM Paul G and Dwayne, know my favorite class, which is Wizard. I have at least 12 wizards in all my years
Whoa.
in D&D. I do not want to play anything else except
12 wizards?
Alam ko, nasa mga 12-ish na ako na wizards.
Wow.
As for race, I like tall races. So anything tall.
Just like in real life.
No, I feel like I'm short in real life. That's why I go for tall races.
There you go. Yeah.
What about you,
That's
the
the great.
apology?
I'm sorry.
I
That's the
got
great thing about D&D because you can play anything. For example, you want to play as a tall race, you can definitely do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. True.
my dreams of being taller.
How
How
about
about
you,
you,
DM
DM Paul?
Paul?
Me, I've tried a lot of different combinations of races and and classes, but I think for race, the easiest one for me is barbarian. Uh,
Oh,
so if you play like MMORPGs and sometimes you just like to point and click stuff and then it does a lot of damage, that's that's the barbarian for you.
yeah.
For wizards, there's
Smash.
a lot of spells, which is really cool because it's really flexible. You can build a lot of things if you're a wizard. But my memory cannot keep up with it. I cannot remember all the spells.
Yeah.
So barbarian, and then as for race, I think I'll either go with the drow, which is those elves that lives in the other dark in the Forgotten Realm setting,
Ooh,
because I think they're cool. They look cool,
they
and they
look
are
cool.
cool.
They
And,
do look cool.
or human, because human master race.
Oh,
Oh
there
my
you go.
gosh.
Master. We're strong. We're strong.
Human. Let's go with that. Yes. So there you go.
How about you, Dwayne? What's your
Okay.
favorite race and class?
My go-to class would be the bard because
Mhm.
I feel that I'm an entertainer through and through. I just want to just have fun times with the party, and bars are very flexible. They can be whatever the party needs. As for the race, nothing in particular, but I'm with Lance. Let's go with tall, lanky races. I mean, any race could be fun, but I like them pointy ears and
Nice.
long lifespans. So let's
Long
do
lifespan. That's important.
long lifespan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Madaming
So
pansit.
elf would be fun.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you, Willow? I know you've only played D&D a
I've
couple of
only
times
played.
with
Yeah,
DM
yeah.
Lands,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I think I was a rogue
You're tiefling.
tiefling. Yeah.
are you
What's the
happy with
tiefling?
that?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Like, very cool. I look mysterious. Like we said, we play like yung opposites natin. And I'm really nice in real life. So medyo pag rogue ka, medyo ano ka, diba? Selfish. Very opposite of me in real life.
Hmm?
Good to know
Medyo
kasi kami, we're not nice. We're not nice people.
but yeah, Rogue Tiefling, we're really enjoying actually yung playthrough natin. If you guys watched, it was last Friday. Last Friday, diba?
Yes, it was last
Last
Friday.
Friday. Yeah. So yeah, mas masaya naman. But yeah, please do answer our GL question of the stream in the chat. But let's check out chat right now. Sabi ni Mark, good evening, y'all. Welcome to the stream, Mark. Thank you for dropping by. Abigail also says hello. Welcome to the stream. Gino says, Ohio, what up? Also, happy birthday,
Hey,
Gino.
happy
Welcome to the
birthday,
stream.
Gino!
Happy birthday,
Salamat sa
Gino!
Happy
pagdalo.
birthday!
Desky says, hey ho, I often urge people to leave D&D ASAP and try other games. Why is that? Maybe try
Yeah,
other
fair enough.
role-playing games, maybe?
There's a lot
Daniel,
of role playing games, so that's probably why.
It's just like D&D is
Parang
a
yun-
gateway.
yeah, starting
Parang,
point.
and once you open the doors, it's hard to close it.
Yeah, Dwayne is behind you closing the door. Danilin. Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Danilin. Sabi ni Gershwin, good evening. Answering the GL question of the stream. Gonna go for Normie Dragonborn Paladin.
Whoa,
Ooh.
Paladin.
Not
Dragonborn
normie, but that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
is cool.
normie. That's awesome.
Abigail naman, sabi niya, hi elf wizard. Hi then elf wizard. No, kinorek niya sarili niya. Hi daw. So, hi elf wizard. Because
Hi,
in my
elf.
fantasy, I get to be tall too and I can fight without getting close to enemies. Yo, fair enough. Depende sa playstyle din talaga.
Yeah, definitely some
Um,
playstyle.
Yeah. And Sin, sabi niya, human fighter. Then at third level, go for samurai.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
Oh yes,
That's awesome.
that's cool. Yeah, and fifth edition, yeah, you can be samurai now, which is really really cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yes,
So-
you can choose a class, and then there's a lot of options for
Subclasses,
subclasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Gino, answering the GL question of the stream, sabi niya, in my current campaign, I play a male half cleric named Baron, lawful neutral, pun connoisseur,
Ooh.
likes mysteries, finds every opportunity to play as detective, serves the Circle of Badgers, holds an ancient tome of forbidden puns sought after by the rival order, squabbling tongues.
How much
Ah.
are you willing to sell that ancient tome of
Oh,
forbidden
Forbidden
puns?
puns.
yes.
And
Please
why
do
is
not
it
sell it to the
forbidden?
Ambalji. It is
Why is it
forbidden.
My character would
forbidden?
like that.
Kaya pala ang galing ni Gino magpan sa na may ganun siya sa D&D niya. Also, John Dominic answering the GL question, I've always have a soft spot for druids, but I have this PC in D&D Adventures League, a half elf swords bard who I'll cherish forever. Thanks to DM Paul G. Thankful that I played a trilogy of yours from my AL days in 2019. Dragon's Breath, Brotherhood, and Tainted Love. So good. Wow.
Yeah.
Fans
Thank
By
you.
the
title
Thanks for
way,
playing that.
ni GM,
Yeah.
DM Paul.
By the way, for those who are not familiar, PC is player character. So
Ooh, okay.
yeah, because we might use some jargon, so it's very important for us to explain,
Get it
expound,
right.
yeah, so that people can get into D&D. Like, parang
Yeah.
it's not scary. I mean, it
It's
is,
not.
pero it's the scary fun.
Nice.
Scary fun. Okay.
Daddy, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Welcome from Thailand. My dad is here.
Welcome from
Also,
Thailand.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Dad tuloy. Tito ba?
Nakidad naman
Nakidad,
tayo.
no?
Lucky Dad. Alright.
We're all one
Uh,
family here.
yeah, we're
Yes.
family. Yeah. Magnus says here, Jill question, I want to play Minotaur. How do you say this? No.
Chronergy.
Chronergy Wizard, reflavored as a time-stopping cow.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Time stopping
Wow.
cow.
That's awesome.
I think
You
there's
can.
a joke somewhere
You can.
there.
Michael also answering the GL question, sabi niya, Lotus, Serpent, Dragons, Wolves. Not sure if this is an acceptable answer.
Battle Realms.
Wala.
Okay.
Wait lang.
Serpent
tama
Yeah,
ba?
it's Battle Realms.
Super Dragons.
Hindi ba? Battle Realms, no?
Battle Realms, right?
I think
Am I
so.
wrong? Wait lang, may wolves ba doon? Yeah.
Yeah, I
the one
think so.
with parang...
And then sabi ni Sin, my secondary choice is half elf ranger. Ooh, awesome. Sabi ni Michael, is the depiction of D&D in TBBT, The Big Bang Theory?
The
I'm
Big
guessing.
Bang
The Big Bang
Theory.
Theory. Yeah.
More or less, yes.
Oh my gosh. What an ancient question. I don't remember that episode.
Yes, Battle Realms. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so the meat of the show would be you guys talking to our DMs, the people expert in D&Ds, which is not me. I'm not part of it. Joke lang. I am an expert, but unfortunately
you
I do
are.
have work, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys. Dwayne and Lance and DM, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream with our viewers. Yeah, keep them entertained, our gamers. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Good luck with your work.
you.
Work calls.
Now the people
Yes.
who don't have work will take over.
We're free as a bird, but yes, we have to say goodbye to Willow at the moment because he has work. But thank you for joining us and setting up the stream. And we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons with my D&D pals over here, DM Paul G and DM Lance. So aside from the question of the stream, which is what is your favorite race and class, if you have any questions about D&D, you can type in the comment below and we'll post it here at regular intervals. We can flash the screen and our panel of experts, our dungeon masters will answer them. Okay, are you ready, DM Paul and DM Lance?
As ready as I can be. Let's go.
How are we gonna do
Okay,
this?
everyone
Like,
roll initiative.
Oh no! Nice.
We have dice.
We're obviously not prepared.
Not prepared at all. Anyway, first up is what is D&D? Anyone can take this. Can answer this
Okay.
question.
Sige, I'll take a crack at it. For me, Dungeons and Dragons is a way for a group of people to tell stories together. That way, if you want to be a tall wizard, if you want to be a high elf, if you want to tell stories about being in a tavern, slaying dragons, so you have this group of people together at one table, just exchanging scenarios until you craft this beautiful or not so beautiful, but still funny, or scary story, and that's where the fun is at, basically, as you try to craft your story as a player, and then your dungeon master will kind of paint the scene that you're in, and then another player will say, but this is what I want to do, and then another player will chime in with their story, and then you craft this thing, and then you next thing you know, your campaign is this big world with all the things that you have mentioned. But as a game, it's basically one of the tabletop role-playing games that you do. That you just need dice, pencil, and paper, and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's for me.
How about you? What about you, DM Lance? What's your take
Oh my
on
gosh.
this?
DM Paul G has already said everything. But if I was gonna say anything, it's basically taking on a role that you like, that you fancy for that moment. If you wanna be a Tsun Tsun character, you can be that character for a
What is a
good.
Soon DM Lance?
Yeah, what is a Tsun DM Lance?
I hate both of you.
I mean, this is for our audience. Again, this is an educational
Um,
show. We need to
Tsun
educate.
is an anime trope where they pretend not to care about you, but they really care about you.
Oh,
So,
Mm.
but anyway, you can roleplay
That's
any
nicely put.
character that you want, and you can pretend to be in that world. The dungeon master builds the world for you, and the thing I love about it is that usually there are no locked doors because the dungeon master has to build everything. So when you open any door, the dungeon master has to make up whatever's behind that door, and it makes it so alive. So I think that's what Dungeon Dragons is for me. There we go.
very good, very good. All right, follow-up question. When did you start playing D&D?
I started
Uh,
playing D&D 2016.
2016.
Really? That's your first
that was your
one?
first foray? The time that we met?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I had an earlier game before that, but then it never continued on, and I was just dying. I was like, I need to continue my character. This elf wizard. She must continue on. And then when I found someone, shout out to Nicolo, posting looking for a dungeon master, I quickly replied to that, and that's where I met Dwayne and DM Paul G and everyone else.
yes.
And I think that's how the Greasy Snitches was born, right?
Yes. That
Wow.
fateful night in Ludo. That's
Right.
when we met.
And
How
now
about
look
you,
at us
Dean?
taking over other people's streams.
That's how we do. That's how
Wait,
greasy
so-
we are.
Oh my gosh. What about
Me?
DM Paul G? Let's
Yeah,
DM Paul G. Let's carbon date him. When was the first time
Wow.
you played
When-
D&D?
Not so long ago, probably like a couple of years ago when I was still in high school.
Oh my god.
in high school. Okay, what edition was this?
Oh my god.
I don't actually remember. No, but when I was in high school, I played a game of Dungeons and Dragons with my classmates. It's at my classmate's house, and then I remember. I'm not sure if it was just one game or two games, but I remember our dungeon master giving me like a white wolf mount, and then
Wow.
like a white marble axe. Apparently, marble axe is
Wow.
strong. And a magical white axe. And during that session, the axe broke, and then
Oh.
I was so devastated at that time. It's like, holy crap, what am I gonna do? This is a magical weapon. It fits well with my outfit and my wolf. And then the session after that never happened. So there's no resolution after that.
Oh my god.
And then years goes by, And then finally, I found a place. I think this was in where was it? Posts in Facebook, 2016 also, I think, or yeah, I think 2016 in
2016.
Marikina. Yeah, I live in
Oh my
Mandaluyong
gosh.
that time. I have to travel
You would go.
to Marikina.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I didn't even know how to commute to get there. I had to Google and stuff how to get there. But I played my first Adventure Sleep game there, and then after that, we're hooked. And then
Hooked.
got met with Lance, Dwayne, and Nick, the other members of the Greasy Snitches, and now we're here.
Dwayne,
Yeah.
when was your first D&D game?
Okay. My first D&D game was also back in high school. I believe it was third ed. I can remember that the book was
Third
uh
ed.
it's a nice looking book with like latches. I am
Oh,
not sure.
you're
Oh
right.
my gosh.
But I can't remember a lot because that was very quick. I only remember that I jumped into a pit and apparently the pit has acid in it and my character died.
Oh my
Super fun.
gosh.
And I mean typical D&D, jump into a pit, you die. But for the longest time I've been looking for a group of D&D players, and it was very hard for me to find one because it's hard to find dungeon masters in their natural habitat. Usually they're very um, secretive. You need to find the secret code or the secret phrase to open doors. But
Right.
I was
You
very
have to
lucky
find
that
out where they play, right? And then if they
yeah.
play at their house, I don't know, you just knock in. Hello? Pwede
Hello,
po makilaro?
hello.
Oh my
Nagdi-D&D po
god.
kayo? Um,
Wow.
but
Right.
that is why I'm very very thankful I found DM Paul and the rest of the snitches, and that is also the reason why we want to share the love and the fun of D&D
Right.
to everyone, because I personally had a hard time finding a group, and I'm sure there are a lot of people are that want to play D&D but they cannot find where or how to start. And what do I do? I just saw it in this but I can't play. That's why. Before we continue to our next question, we do have wow, a lot of
Love it.
questions. So let's go through them very very quickly. Um, JB Makiran says, "Good evening, GL question. How's the Root RPG? Have you tried it, guys? How was it? I haven't tried it.
I want.
But I played Root the board game. It is you play as, I believe in the RPG you play as woodland critters. So you play as foxes,
Aw.
otters,
Huh?
owls, cats. Um, so that's very promising. I played an RPG before called The Warren, where you play as bunnies. Uh, that was super fun. But
Cute.
the Root RPG, we're also looking into playing that. Haven't tried it yet. How about you, Lance? Paul, have you tried Root RPG?
No, haven't.
I've
Uh,
played other RPGs, but yeah, as you people know, I'm afraid to try other RPGs because if I do, I feel like I'm gonna leave D&D and then just stick to whatever new RPG that's there. And I have so many books. I have so many D&D books. I can't. I'm too far in Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, it's a fair thing. Like a while ago, I believe it was, who was it? Desky, who said that he wants to teach people other RPGs after D&D. That's one thing, because the great thing about D&D is it's very accessible right
Right.
now. It's very
Mhm.
popular, so it's easier to get friends. Hey guys, you've watched Stranger Things? Tara, let's play D&D,
Mhm.
because that's what they did there. And for me also, like Paul, I am a bit scared trying other RPGs because I know that it's an investment. Time
Right.
investment, you get in the books, but I know that it's super fun and you make your role playing life more richer. So there's a balance to have.
That's right.
Um, Going on to other related to this, Cyberpunk Red, solo or lawman? Any of you guys who played
Ah,
Cyberpunk Red or any
no, but I'm
Cyberpunk?
familiar with it. It's isn't it the newest cyberpunk TRPG?
There will be a Cyberpunk 2077.
TRPG.
There is a Cyberpunk
Ah,
TRPG, and then soon there will be a board game, I believe. So that whole cyberpunk genre is very rich. But I haven't played. No one, no one.
I haven't.
Sorry, Sin. We haven't played, but once we played, we'll get back to you. I don't know when is that. Or if you have tried it, comment down below what was your experience. Next, fave class of all time. Any opinions on Monk? Shout out the Greasy Snitches charity event this weekend.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Oh wow, charity event this weekend.
Thank
Sige,
you. Yeah, thank you
before
for
we
helping us
go-
plug it.
I mean, it's there. Before we jump into the charity event, any opinions on Monk?
Monk
OP.
is yes overpowered.
Overpowered.
Yeah, I think it's good. The monk shines the most when, let's see, when you're trying to fight a boss, like a big boss in a dungeon, for example. Monks have the ability to stun targets, so you can stun them, and then you let the other party members kind of just beat the crap out of the monster that you're fighting. But also, if you're fighting like multiple creatures, that's the thing. You can, as a monk, there are many things that you can do. You can make them prone. You can stun creatures. So basically, you give advantage. It's like a utility character that gives advantage and help your other party members do more damage or do better in terms of combat. So yeah, it is really good to have. And in terms of role playing, since you can be like, just a traveling monk or someone who serves a deity, for example. So it's a good class overall. If you're not looking for like big numbers, monk is the way to go.
Yeah, if you love all of those Hong Kong Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee films, and you want to play as that, Monk is the best character for you because you can like, haha.
Yeah, and you
way
can
of
do a lot of
business.
things. Yeah.
Yes, very good class.
I know it's OP because one time the Apology sent us a flying worm. What was that creature? The
Flying
Apology?
worm?
It's
worm.
I can't
And
remember off the
Neo-
top of my head. Yeah.
Neothelid. I think
New
it's
Talent. There you go. Yes,
Neothelid,
New
yeah.
Talent. Yeah.
And it's the challenge rating is really high. We were all level 7s and we were like, how the heck are we gonna survive it? But we had a monk. He kept stunning it. It kept
Stun,
proccing,
stun.
and we killed it. And none of us even went down. And I was like, oh my gosh, the monk could have done this alone.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that we are going to talk about this at the end of the episode, but it's already here. So, Greasy Snitches charity event this weekend. Can you tell us about this event?
All right. So for this event, or coming this weekend, we will be at Vertis North or at Tavern, basically. So Vertis North, like every weekend or so, there's like a tavern event, so a tabletop at Vertis North, basically. And Neutral Grounds is part of that. So we're partnered with them to basically create a charity event. That is happening June 11 and 12. So that means it's a newbie friendly event. That means if you haven't played Dungeons and Dragons before, this is the perfect opportunity for you to play because we have dungeon masters that will run a game for you, and then from there you learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons. You can create your own character before the event, or we have pre-generated characters that you can use as well. So yeah, and then we'll have since Neutral Grounds is there, if you want to buy some tabletop stuff, dice, and other things, it's all there. So join us from 11 in the morning onwards, Saturday, Sunday, and this is all for a charity for DSWD's RSCC, which is I'm not prepared. All right.
Okay.
Which is the Reception and Study Center for Children, more specifically in Region 3. So those kids, will, all the money that we can, or donations that we can accumulate from that event, we give it to that center, and then try to see if we can fix some of their facilities,
That's so nice.
and throw a party for the children, and because uh, for adventures, usually, what's the usual background for adventures, right? Uh, you go out, you're an orphan, right, or something
Yeah.
happened in your family, and but then you rise up as the hero when you play Dungeons and Dragons. And here, in real life, those things happen. Unfortunately, it's sad that it happens, but sometimes. But these children have those backstories for real, and now we have a chance to help them and make sure that they become, get this chance to become a hero, right? When they grow
Yeah.
up. So
I
that's
also
what we're trying.
heard that. Sorry. I also heard that there will be an epic in this event. What is an epic? DMX,
Oh,
can you tell us more about this?
Oh, of course. So, an epic is a multi-table event. So, we all know how. Well, most of us know D&D, have experienced it in All Aboard XP, where one dungeon master is running a game for all of you. But in an epic event, this is your chance to get to interact with other tables. You get to throw spells and help out the other table, because usually you're fighting against one one big bad evil guy. um
Ooh.
and the feeling is just electric, because you're not just an adventuring party, but you are an army this time around. And it's just electric. Everybody needs to experience it, and you have the chance to experience it this weekend.
yeah. So
Uh,
just think of it as like a Avengers Assemble kind of moment when you play an epic. Like
that's so
everybody, all the
cool.
parties, all the dungeon masters come together to defeat that one enemy together.
Wait,
Uh,
also, we're not offering one, but we're actually offering two of them this
Not
weekend.
not one, but
Not
two
just one, but
epics.
two. Yes, so you have two
Wow.
chances to experience it.
So yeah.
Honestly, this is so cool. The epic is an interesting event because normally when you play D&D, you're in a table and it's super fun. You create stories with that group of table, but now you can create a story that is multi-table. That means whatever happens in your table will affect the other tables. Uh,
Exactly.
if you
Exactly.
succeed, you will give them bonuses. If their table fails, something will happen to your table, and that's crazy.
Right.
I
So
And not
example,
remember.
to mention,
if you feel like you're like 5 tables playing together, that's already kind of chaotic and fun. But imagine if you have 10, 20 tables together playing at the same time.
and of course, the roving NPCs. You actually get to meet the NPCs as they start walking around. You get to buy stuff from them. Well, in game, you get to buy stuff from them in game. Sometimes they will give you boons. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will annoy you. So it's all good fun.
Yep.
Sometimes they will just sneak up on you and scare you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes they will shoot you with a harpoon.
Guilty. Okay. Yes, we are going to talk about that event later. But thank you very much, Da Calderon, for this question. Let's go with Sin's question. How do you manage spells and its effects? Uh,
I think
as a
Lance is the best.
spellcaster, Lance, yes. How do you manage your spells?
Okay, so
Any pro tips?
originally I am a rules as written sort of DM. Like, I am a stickler to the rule book. But as we progressed further in Dungeons and Dragons, I found that it was more fun to let the players flavor their spells and just go along with the effects of it, as long as it's within reason. It takes a while to memorize most of the spells. It's handy to have the PHB with you. What's even handier and more awesome is if you get the animated spell deck from Gaming Library.
Oh,
You
that
mean
one is cool.
this one?
There!
Oh my,
Yeah!
you know how I'm super jealous that you guys have that.
You know, so for example,
Look
you
at
will cast
that!
Animal Friendship. It's like this.
So
Oh,
you can distribute it to your players. They can read the spells easily, and actually that's one pro tip. Have your players look at their spells so they get to learn the spells, and soon enough you guys are helping each other remember if the spell effects that you're remembering are correct.
Yes. I mean, it takes some time to get used to spells. At first, it's like, so many spells, so little time. But later on, you'll get used to it. Especially if your favorite is a spellcaster. If you play in like RPGs as a spellcaster, you'll get the hang of it. Thank you very much, Sin, for that question. Let's move on to Gino. What's your favorite campaign to run as a DM? What's your favorite campaign to play? Let's throw it first at DM Paul.
that's a difficult question. I most of my games, actually, yeah, I think all of my games, not most, is like fifth edition games, and I play pre-written campaigns. So the adventure books that Wizards of the Coast kind of publishes, those are the games that I run. And I think there's two. One is Storm King's Thunder, which is basically you as like a small folk trying to get into the problems of the giants, as now they have like issues as who's gonna be the boss now. Is it gonna be the storm giants or the frost giants or somebody else? So, but I like the exploration part because there you go around Sword Coast, which is a area in the Forgotten Realms setting, and you just travel around. So I like that. The second one, which I like it better a little bit than Storm King's Thunder, is Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It's
Ooh.
supposed to be like a short campaign. It's only recommended that you run it for like 5 sessions, 4-hour sessions. But me and my group, we played it for like more than a year. Uh, we just traveled around the city of Waterdeep, and we have a session where we just go towards the city office and try to get a license to open a business, hire workers, create an event. I know some people in the Greasy Snitches who are, when it comes to us doing real life events, not that enthusiastic, but when it comes to D&D events, like in-game events, they're like, holy crap, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to make sure we have like all these things ready.
That's role playing.
That's role playing. Exactly.
That is
And it was just so fun. So yeah, those are my two favorite campaigns.
How about you, DM Lance? Any particular campaign you love to run or to play?
Okay, so my favorite campaign to run is of course Curse of Strahd. That campaign has my heart, my soul, my everything. Curse of Strahd is a very easy game for dungeon masters to start with. If you're looking for something to start with, Curse of Strahd is perfect. Basically, what happens is that your adventurers are plucked from wherever they are in the world and dragged into the domain of dread, where they have to defeat Strahd. I'm not gonna tell you what Strahd is if you don't know. We don't know. If you have to defeat Strahd to get out of it, and one, it's easy because they're already united by the fact that they have to get home. Two, there are mists that can just bring you anywhere and everywhere in that campaign. You want them to go east, they want to go west, the mist covers them, and they're where you want to be. And it's very classic evil versus good campaign, and I do love that it has a gothic feel to it, so it's one of my favorites. My favorite campaign that I've played in though is um Descent of Avernus. Oh,
Oh.
Descent of Avernus is descending to the first layer of hell and trying to figure out well actually I guess it's also another one of those campaigns where you're kind of forced to fix things because you're the only ones there to fix it. And you get into the politics of the first layer of hell. You learn more about the blood war for older players who are familiar with the blood war, which is the millennia's long war between demons and devils. I wouldn't start it as a beginner DM, but it is very cool. It is very Mad Max. It is very motorcycles in hell with bards and electric guitars sort of thing. Exploding motorcycles, that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's it.
Haven't played Descent of Avernus, but I played, of course, Curse of Strahd with you. Love it.
Yeah, I think
And
Strad is a monk.
yes, I also played Strahd with DM Paul. First time I've
Yeah.
died in a game
Really?
there. I mean, not dead, but
Right.
unconscious. But super fun. Next question over here again from DA Calderon. It's not a question. It's like actors improv but with a game board. Nice way to look at it. And that is a perfect segue on how do you play D&D? How do you play D&D?
That's it.
What's
That's you
like
just
this?
improv. Yeah, that's it. It's improv with dice rolls to tell you if just to add some spice on how you role play, and you can be like a very bad at acting or very good at it. But when you combine it with other players who are also good slash bad at acting, it creates this perfect mix of great story that you can tell. Like for me, I told you guys about the story about my first D&D campaign about the axe being broken, and then Dwayne talking about falling into a pit of acid. It may sound simple, right? But it's stuck into our heads after all this time because how it happened, who was with you, how the story was told. Even after this many years, you still remember it. But yeah, it's just you act however you want based on your character, as long as everyone's having fun and everyone's okay with it. And you roll dice to see if you're successful or not. And the DM or the dungeon master just kind of helps you make that story happen. That's it.
Let me put a little bit of structure with that question. For example, if we have audience members haven't played D&D at all, well, the easiest way is to go to the event this weekend. Go there
Right.
with an open mind and an open heart and an open imagination. Go there, and then your DM will assist you in everything. But what if you can't go this weekend? You have a thing already. How can you get into D&D? What are the things you need to do or need to read or need to have? Let me throw it to you, DM Lance.
Honestly, I run a lot of newbie games, and when I run newbie games, my best suggestion is show up on time. Show up on time.
Show up, yeah.
Um,
Very important.
Bring your dice and have an open mind, like Dwayne said, because your dungeon master is there to guide you every step of the way. We are there to help you figure things out. In fact, what I tell people when they say they want to play D&D is just think of the character in mind, and I will put the numbers to it. As the DM, I will put the all the number crunching, the rules to it, and I will help you make your character bring your character to life. Of course, it is always useful to have read some, like the player's handbook. And perhaps you can watch us play D&D on Saturday mornings.
Yes.
Yes. Every Saturday morning, 9:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Except this Saturday morning, but usually the Anthology runs as a game, and you can see from these live games how we play. You can pick up pointers, and that's basically it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that is a great way to learn D&D. Watch other people play. Especially right now, we have the Greasy Snitches, Misadventures, on Twitch. Lance, can you just link it
Yes,
to the
Well,
yes,
yeah, and
I
what
will.
Lance is linking. As you can see, we're very chaotic in this.
It's okay.
There's no
This
structure
is
at all.
this is very typical D&D. You go into something with
Right.
nary a plan, but
But
you have
if
fun.
you're planning to play Dungeons and Dragons, people will tell you, okay, you need a source book. What is a source book? Basically, a source book is a book published by Wizards of the Coast that has the rules. So if you're a player, first time player, you need to read the player's handbook. If you're a dungeon master, there's also the Dungeon Master's Guide source book, and then there's a monsters manual that has all the stat blocks for monsters. And it can look and feel intimidating because, all right, you mean you want me to read the whole book, and then I have to read all of this to create a character, and it can be pretty intimidating. But that's why we recommend that you watch other people play, or you yourself play with other people, join events like the events that we have this weekend, or other events that if we have another All Aboard XP that happening soon, then you can join us there. And then we will teach you how to do that. First, you can have just a pre-generated character. You learn about hit points, your armor class, how to cast spell, how to use your longsword, all those things, and then slowly you learn what's the purpose of the D20, 20-sided dice, and all those stuff. And then at that point, after that game, I think you'll be able to create your own character on your own. If you cannot purchase Player's Handbook, there's a free resource, the basic rules, that can be found. If you Google it, D&D basic rules. It's in the Wizards of the Coast website. It's free, and it will let you create. It has the rules for creating a character.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is so true. Um, so again, like the Paul said a while ago, D&D is basically a community storytelling. You have a dungeon master that will guide you, but everyone has an input on the story. For example, the dungeon master will set the setting. You are in a tavern, and you just say what you want to do. Like I want to dance on top of the table. Then you roll dice to see what happens next, and then we continue with the story, and everyone gets to decide what happens. It's like improv with a little bit of rules and a little bit of dice. The intimidating part would be the rules part, but you don't have to worry about that at first. Later on, once you already set up with like the feel of how to play D&D, now you can go deeper into the rules so that you can, my character can do this, or I can help my team better if I cast healing spells, something to that effect. But the main important thing is you gather around the table with your friends and you create a story and you have fun.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. I'm thinking if I should segue with this next question because it's nice. Which is, why do you play D&D? So we've talked about what is D&D, how to play. Now, why? Why play D&D?
Why is the
I see
more?
that. I saw that reaction land. So why? Why D&D?
Is-
Why
I know,
tabletop role playing games?
I know it's 9 p.m., but I'm not ready for this question.
Why?
Where's my margarita?
What?
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Okay, so why do we play not just D&D, for everyone else here who
Yes.
plays other tabletop role-playing games? Why do we play tabletop role-playing games?
Yes.
It is I play it because I love stories. I have been a huge reader since I was a child. We weren't allowed a lot of TV as a child. and we weren't allowed to go out a lot because it was, you know how it is. Your parents are worried about you, so my companions were often books. These were my this is how I learned about the world. This is how books shaped me, and to be a character in my favorite book, that just makes me so happy and so fulfilled. That's why I play tabletop role playing games, to build stories, essentially. Oh my gosh.
It's really nice to say it out loud, right?
Tissue, tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I know a lot of old school D&D players here are familiar with Dragonlance, and Dragonlance molded me a lot as a person, and to be able to play in that world as a character is just amazing. To be able to build memories with people, with Dwayne, with the Apology.
Uh-huh.
Some of my best memories are with them. In game, the stories might not be real, but the memories are. So
Wow.
Very, very nice
Alright.
input.
Where's the crying emote here? Where's the crying?
crying emote for but I totally agree with that. You create stories and they stick with you. That's why we play. How about you, DM Paul? Why do you play D&D?
All right. Again, like what DM Land said, it's not just D&D. It's I think it's with other games too. But for me specifically, Dungeons and Dragons, I when oh man, am I gonna cry too? I don't want to cry. Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You're good.
I'm gonna open up a little bit, and because when I was young, so when you grow up, you study, go to high school, college, and then you realize that you're not an A student. You're not the worst student. You're not also the best student. You kind of just right there in the middle, and then you go to work. You start doing a job, and then you realize you're not the best, or you're also not the worst. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, as I was growing up, I am trying to think like, what is my talent? Am I good? I'm not good at basketball. I'm not good at video games. I suck at first person shooter games and all those things. That's why I like to play like one click games because skills I don't have it, and I'm not good at debates. I'm not good at even with writing. I would say that I'm not even good at it. Uh, and the only thing that I'm good at, for me, I think, as I was growing up, is imagination. I'm good at imagining things. I watch a lot of animes, movies, read a lot of books, but what the heck am I gonna use imagination for? There's no venue, there's no what's this? There's no catalyst that I can use in real life for me to use my imagination, right? So if I want to draw, I have good imagination, but I suck at drawing, so I can't do that. I want to write stories, but I suck at writing, so okay, I can't do that. But when I found out about Dungeons and Dragons and start telling stories, so even if your grammar is wrong, even if you're so bad at drawing maps, even if you don't know how to weave the story together, you have other people helping you. So now all this imagination, I can make people be like Son Goku and Dragon Ball. I can make them all these anime characters that they want to be. Now everything that's in my head that's been stored for like this many years, now I finally have an output. And there's still a lot in my brain. And that's why I still play D&D, because I want to share that experience. All these things in your head that you can't really share to others through other mediums because you lack the talent for it. In D&D, I get to do all that, and the fact that I can make people smile through that, I think that's why I fell in love with this game, and that's why I stayed, and that's why I'm still playing it. So
That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That is the Amy Award winning writer DM Paul G. But you
yeah.
you are amazing. I just want to
Mm.
tell you that, and that is so
Aw,
true.
thank you.
D&D is like what Lance said. It is like you build your story and it's very memorable, and then you use your imagination and you can become your own hero, um, the hero of your own story, and you share it with your friends. I think that's the reason why I play D&D, because I just love to hang out with my friends and create stories. Um, and even if it's a new set of people, like I've run a lot of games with newbies, they become closer friends, and I be as a DM to them, I become closer to them, and we become friends. So that's like a great way to share, meet new people, earn new friends, and it's there's so many more amazing benefits in playing D&D and other tabletop role playing games, and we I'm sure
Mhm.
we don't have time, but I will try to mention some some um role playing games. It's a safe space. You can process things that is happening with your life in a game, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. It's also a way for kids to interact with other kids. There have been many researches about how they use role playing to help kids to interact with people, and that's super fun. uh so many things, but
Yeah,
I
I know, right? Yeah.
but
Like with other games, like with every other game, there can be some bad things that can happen to you. Not just with D&D, with other tabletop RPG, even in board games, right?
yes.
Uh, but the thing here, there's just like motorcycle that just passed by.
Welcome to the
Welcome to the
Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, as long as if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you set the expectations together, you apply some safety tools if you can, and everyone's in agreement what you want in terms of when you play the game, you're gonna have so much fun, and I promise you're not. It'll be difficult for you to leave the game.
Yes. I will break this drama intense part
Please.
with some questions from our audience. Okay.
Mm.
No, this one we've done already. Tip from Sin: don't get too attached to your character. Yes and no. You can
Yeah.
get too attached so that when the character dies, it will be memorable.
Or you'll do your best to make sure that your character will not die. Right?
Yeah,
No,
and
this is your revenge arc. You make a new character that is the
I will
cousin of your
avenge.
character and you avenge.
Yes,
Right.
and that could be a whole story. Lots of different things that you can go with that. Onesimus Magno says it's fun for players to interact with random unnamed people in the world too. It creates most unexpected names if you don't have them prepared. It's hilarious. Any fun anecdotes, DMs about your players surprising you with NPC names?
One of my players right now, his name is Sirius Lee.
Seriously. Seriously? Seriously? I think that's it. That's it. That's the
Yep,
punchline. That's
that
everything.
answers it. Yeah, yeah. For me, like if a player asks me what's the name of that NPC, that's still for me that's the most difficult part to do. I look around, and like an example would be I look around when during a session, and I see a vase, I see like a glass of water, and I say, Vater. Name is Vater.
Hater.
Uh, next to, as you can see, this guy apparently in all black now with a helmet and a sword that glows in red. Yeah, Vater is.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god.
And usually the players would interact with the NPC that you are most unprepared. Not even fleshed out. But you see a goblin over there. Really? What's the name of that goblin? Let's interrogate him. And you're like, no, he's no one. But that's the fun of D&D. Your players can do anything, and you will just roll dice and see what happens. Next, Desky says, "Wow, I got to AD&D in 1979." AD&D
Wow.
is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, or more
Second
popularly
ed.
known as Second Ed, in
Something, yeah.
1979. Wow, that's amazing. My first character was a human paladin. Uh,
Love
wait.
it.
So let's follow this thread. Desky says that's 37 years apart. So it's nice that the game survived all this time. Yes. So D&D was started back in the 70s, and now it has a resurgence
Right.
with Stranger Things, The Big Bang Theory, Community, and we now have Critical Role, Dimension 20, many amazing live stream events, and that's just amazing.
Misadventures with Greasy Snitches.
That one too. I mean, it's the caliber of
It's
games
at
and
that level.
players. It's same level. I mean, slightly different, but it's there. But it's amazing
Mhm.
that we have this resurgence. Desky said, "Pit, you die, walang save versus death." I think we had, but I was not able to get out of the pit because it's like uh so slippery walls and then just straight down. So I'm like, I can't go. No, I mean, I'll just eventually be eaten up. But that acid filled pit is super memorable. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's if I could survive that? I don't play a barbarian. I don't have a lot of hit points. What's this? Sin says I got introduced and played in 2002. That's 20 years ago. With second,
That's
then
20 years
3.5.
ago?
2002 is
Yeah, it's
20 years ago.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
I mean, time.
I
What
think
is
I
time?
think that's also I think that's also the when I played in high school. I think that was also the edition. I'm not sure. During that time, I don't really care about edition.
Dishes,
I just,
yeah.
yeah. It's just there's D&D.
Just
Okay,
as
you
long as
play.
you play. Yes.
Yeah.
Sin says, but I learned how to GM with a different genre. Yeah, valid. You can. I think the skills that you have as a dungeon master or as a GM is transferable from you just take on a new system, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Any yeah, everyone agrees, so no discussion. Yes, the Apology. I went to so many RPGs, and Obsidian was the better fit for me, as well as Mutants and Mastermind. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with these RPGs, Lance and the Apology? The Apology,
Vaguely.
vaguely.
For
Uh,
me, no, because but I get what Besky's saying. Because there are a lot of beautiful tabletop RPGs out there besides Dungeons and Dragons, and once you get exposed to that, it's just it's just hard to resist playing them. It's like, oh, it's so beautiful. How can I resist this
yes.
game? And then now I have to spend time reading the book, and then oh, another good game. Oh my god, what am I to do? So it's a bigger hole for me. And that's why I try to stay in the safe zone of Dungeons and Dragons while I'm
Streamline a bit, because
yep.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's
A
like,
lot.
again, once you open the door, it's open. You cannot
But
you
for
cannot
those
close
that
it
can
anymore.
play, yeah, for those who can play multiple TTRPGs, I salute you because yeah, I think that's the best experience you can have. Play those different games and then enjoy them. Find the one that actually suits you best.
Yes,
Uh,
agree. Traveler and Judge Dreddin. I think these are also other RPGs.
JRPGs, yeah.
Yes.
Traveler.
Okay, Gino, our birthday boy, says, other than D&D, I really want to try out Shadowrun. And are you
Shadowrun.
guys familiar with Shadowrun? Is
did
it
we
It's
play
a
that?
didn't we play Shadow? Is it the one that is like, no. I'm thinking Vampire the Masquerade. So
Yeah, I
no,
think
it's
that's
not
what we're
that.
thinking. All right, so no, we were
No,
thinking
no, no, no.
Vampire the Masquerade. What's
I
the
mean,
bigger
Vampire.
world within Vampire the Masquerade?
World
It,
of Darkness.
World of
World
Dark.
of
All right,
Dark.
it's not Shadowrun.
Darkness,
Never.
Shadow. I mean, it all just now blends
D&D
into like.
expert, not tabletop RPG expert.
Okay, let's go to Onesimus Magno. Learning other RPG systems actually taught me how to understand certain D&D mechanics. Yes, totally agree. Savage Worlds is a big recommendation for me. That is so true. So, there are different RPG systems, and once you get to try, you can appreciate or you can like tweak the things that you don't like in other RPGs, or you can just like take things from
Yeah.
different RPGs and then mold them into
Exactly.
your own RPG system.
Exactly.
Oh, here. Desi says Shadowrun has several editions on already, and it is really good.
I think Shadowrun is cyberpunk, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe next All Aboard XP, one of
We'll
us should
try-
try running it. You know?
We'll try. We'll try.
Is it gonna be a good game? Probably not, but
We don't know yet.
Shadowrun is a sci-fi tabletop role-playing game set in an alternate future with cybernetics, magic, and fantasy creatures. So
Cybernetic and
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
It's
Okay.
giving me Final Fantasy 15 vibes. Is it wrong? Is it correct? I don't know. Sin says I did my first. I did-
Someone messaged me and said, my first DM actually messaged me. The one that where my axe broke. Said,
oh my
Shadowrun
god!
is
Is
a
he
cyberpunk
watching?
world. Yeah, he's watching. So thank you for
Wow.
watching.
Right here! The camera!
Shadowrun
Hi!
is a cyberpunk world where magic showed up. So yeah,
Where is it?
Chaos
Where is
Hammer,
it?
thanks for
I-
watching. Yeah.
I
He's
need to
watching
find
on
that.
YouTube, not
On YouTube, on YouTube.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Found it. Okay, Shadowrun is magic introduced to cyberpunk. Also, hello.
Hello, DM Polgy's first DM, and the reason why we're here playing games.
So
It's like a pyramid
basically, he's
scheme,
our
but bird.
granddaddy.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, he was my classmate in high school. So yeah, we played together, and without him, I'm not gonna be here. Invading other people's stream with the greasy stitches. So yeah,
I
Thank
wouldn't
him.
be here as well.
Well, thank you again. It's very nice because we have the DMs to thank for. That's why we were able to enjoy the game. And
Right.
the best thing that we can do is to pay it forward. That's why we have these events, and we just want to share this love for the game to other people. So more power. I hope your DM still runs games, and maybe we can
Mhm.
set a game so that we can like play with the granddaddy.
The granddaddy's granddaddy. Yeah, let's go. Let's do that. All right.
Okay. Desky says, for me, monks. Oh, this is a while ago. Monks shine in waterborne and non-urban setting that restricts necessities, like on a ship where falling over while in heavy armor or carrying heavy encumbrance is fatal without water breathing. Yes, monks, they have a lot of things. They can survive a fall. Can they walk on water?
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
have it?
I think they do.
And
Yes. Yeah.
monks are amazing. I haven't played the monk, but because I am like usually bard and something else.
If Dwayne was the monk on his first D&D game, he might have survived that pit of acid. Walk
Right.
on wall.
I walk on the wall. I could parkour on the wall. I could have survived, but I did. I
Yeah.
was not. Next, Sin says, "Oh no, worst lands. Which Karatur continent would be featured in D&D 5e? The Empal, are you familiar with Karatur?
Karatur is the other continent, more on the eastern side. It's more influenced by like Asian themes, or Eastern themes, and Dungeons and Dragons. What's this? In older editions, of course, how it was written by that time. There's some problematic stuff there, and you can find a lot of YouTube videos, shows about it. But if Wizard of the Coast can find out a good way to bring back Karatur, why not? I'm excited. I want to play in Karatur. I wanna see all those mythical creatures and places in Karatur. So it's basically a place in the Forgotten Realms. It's one of the continents there. So
Okay. Uh, Still a lot of comments to go through. Desky says I still have D20 L5R in hardbound.
Legend of the Fire Prince and
I love
Hardbound. Wow.
that. Go crab.
Go Crane. Sin says play the cleric on second ed. Cleric. We,
Oh.
we love them clerics and they
Yes.
hate us because we always die.
Counterspell the cleric, DMs. Counterspell the
Mm.
cleric.
Not.
Why do you need a
That's-
cleric when you have a necromancer that can revive you, right?
Exactly.
Oh, this is a fun question from Sin. How long do you need to prep for a run? In your experience, in your vast and wide experience, DMs, how long do you prep for a run?
Lance, you want to go first?
Okay. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Maybe we can show them different perspectives. I am an over
Mhm.
prepper. I will write down a list of NPC names so that when you ask me what's the name of this NPC, I give you a name. I don't look at vases or glasses of water. I tend to take my time, but it's more of something enjoyable for me. I would take weeks preparing for my game, but honestly, D&D has these 2R games that are available these days, right? DM Paul G. What do you call those
Yeah.
2R games?
Which one?
Dungeon
I was
Craft.
distracted. Dungeon Craft, yeah, Dungeon Craft Adventures, yeah.
Dungeon Craft Adventures, they're basically 2R games, which all you need to do is to read through it. They usually have the stats at the back already, and that's all you need to do to prep. So if you're not like me, who loves over prepping, who is really into being meticulous about her world, you can pick up one of those dungeon crafts and just run that after reading the module.
Yeah.
Um, for me, there's a certain level of preparation that you need to do as a DM, of course, but you should also allow yourself some flexibility because you cannot prep for everything, and that is the beauty of D&D. You'll be surprised because your players would like to ask the name of this random goblin in the tavern and you have no idea and you just have to go with it, roll with the punches, and that's the beauty of D&D. So
The
there's
the
no long
thought
and
is
short
that
answer.
no plan ever survives contact with the players and the game master.
Yeah,
You
true.
you can prepare to be not prepared. Does that make
Yes, and
sense?
I think that's my style because that's why I like running pre-written adventures because it's there. All you have to do is read through it and then add your own flavor and then run the game. But even with that, you still have to read a lot of things, prepare maps and all, and sometimes it can take hours, if not a day, if you're really meticulous about it. That's why for me, sometimes, and some of my players know this, like I just run it as we play. Like I don't read the adventure, and we discover what happens together. Right, dungeon master and player. Oh, this is the plot
Oh,
twist. I didn't know.
surprise to the both of us.
So yeah, sometimes that's fun. Not recommended. Not recommended to do. If you can prepare as much as you can as a dungeon master. But
I
if you
mean,
want to try that out once or twice,
if it works
go.
with your table, it works with your
Yeah.
table. You get to know your table, what are their likes. Because I know some players, when they figure out that the NPC is not named, they'll figure out that the NPC is not important. So
Mm.
sometimes I try to throw in a little curveball there. Name all my NPCs now. They have to think everybody's important. So up to you, up to what type of game you want to run.
That's very important. In any game, you need to have that conversation, and in D&D, you need to have that session zero. Establish what are the expectations for both DM and player, so that you can have the same level of fun, and it's fun for everyone. Yes. And if your players are okay with like not as prepared, good and fine. But if your players really appreciate like a well fleshed out story, every every character in that world have their names and backgrounds and intertwined relationships, there you
Yeah.
can also do that. You just have to ask your players what they want and try to prep to the level that you can. Okay. Next, let's see. Araceli says, "Good evening, po. I played D&D back in 2015. My character was a halfling rogue. I love stealthy characters. Yes, halfling rogue, super fun.
Good choice.
Very very stealthy. You know,
Sneak attack.
sneak sneak. Um, Onesimo says players getting into roleplay session is almost magical. Seeing them essentially turn into other people. What are some other favorite RP moments that everyone had? So
Oh.
many to mention. Favorite RP moments.
What's your favorite
Uh,
RP moment, Dwayne? Yeah.
on the top of my head, there was a moment. There was an epic that we played as at. So that was me, Lance, Franco. We're both magic casters. And then a huge anti-magic field was cast over on the battlefield, and we're like, can't do anything. And then we don't have magic. We can't do anything. Let's just dance. So we're just dancing. We're just dancing around the table, and the in-game thing that we're doing is we're applying this advantages to the other players who can attack our melee characters. But at the same time, it was super memorable because I mean, you take the magic away from magic casters, all you have is some dancers, and we're just dancing.
I
um
remember this one.
Lance, we were talking about what is your favorite RP moments, either from you or from your players.
Um. Okay, so I was running Pendragon. Pendragon is a tabletop role playing game where you play Knights of the Round Table, as in King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table. So the story was there's this girl who wants her father avenged, so she disturbs a wedding and demands that the earl knight her then and there so she can avenge her father. Now, since this is King Arthur, obviously it's a big no-no for a girl to be knighted. So the players tried to stop the girl, but she was really angry. She had a sword in her hand, and one of the players, Isa, you guys know Isa.
Shout out to Isa.
Don't name
Isa.
drop. Hi, Isa.
Shout out to Isa. Gets down on one knee and proposes to the girl right then and there. And
Wow.
that was when I was role playing this girl. In my head, I was like, nothing is gonna stop this girl from, ruining the wedding by demanding what she wants. But that stopped me in my tracks. And you know what? Fine. It also stops the girl in her tracks. I need 5 seconds to
That
to,
is
to, to
beautiful.
digest. Yeah, and those moments when players do outrageous stuff, so crazy, it actually works. I love those moments.
Wow. I
Love
mean,
that.
I can only imagine the reaction of the table when that happened.
Yeah, we were all.
Uh,
Excuse me.
God. How about you, DM Paul? Any favorite RP moments, either you as a player or from your players?
I guess as a dungeon master, I ran like I think it was an online game. I ran one of my adventures, and this there's an encounter where there's this little kid inside the forest and tried to get the players to come closer, and then transforms into a an oni, which is basically this large demon-like creature, and it tried to kill everyone. Right, this is the bad guy. But then something happened, and instead of fighting this creature, this oni, they befriended. that creature, and they succeeded. And that's not part of the adventure. Like the author didn't write it so that they can befriend it. It's supposed to be like disappear so you can kill it. So it kind of went off script, quote unquote. And I'm not gonna deny that my players. They role played well, and so I let them befriend it, and get close to this Oni that is disguised as a little kid. And as they bonded in the forest, when they left, though, I don't know if it's bad for me as a dungeon master, but I made it to a point that this Oni or this monster cannot leave the forest. Uh, and so imagine having this friend, having this little kid, and then someone you also calls you like Kuya or Tito or Mama or Papa or something, and then all of a sudden you can't leave with this child slash Oni. It created a moment where we got teary-eyed and don't know how to respond because what do we do? Screw the quest. Let's find a way to save this kid. Let's try to find a way to release the kid and get him out of the forest. And yeah, sometimes those off the rails kind of encounters or role play is what makes the most memorable parts when you play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I would like to add something. I just remembered something and I just want to share it.
Oh,
So the main character that played under Paul's table is Urelvi, a bard, and eventually we adventured, did a lot of things. We reached level 20, and after that we need to retire. I mean, do after level 20 stuff. But one amazing thing that was offered to me by DM Paul is to write my character as an NPC in one of his modules, and so I was able to write down some characteristics of your LV, and someone noticed that the character your LV was inspired from famous drag queens, so that was like a highlight for me, and I don't think I was able to thank you, DM Paul, for that opportunity.
you shouldn't be thanking me. I should be the one thanking you because you let me put that amazing character there.
Aw.
It again, the greasy snitches in my stories are all kind of red herring, and people get annoyed with that. But it's always a fun encounter. So when they meet the man Dander, they meet Icarus, they meet Irelvi and other members of the greasy snitches and the adventures that I write. It will not make you progress in terms of your quest, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's fun,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, continuing on. Oh, we still have a lot of questions, and it's almost 9:30. So I just will just note this. Sin says, have you ran an overnight campaign? Yes.
During the days, yes. What is
I
the
will never forget DM Paul G's run of Tomb of Horrors for old school gamers. We went through Tomb of Horrors, and well, I survived. I survived. The others didn't survive so much, but yeah, we've done this.
for how many hours was that? Was that 12 or 14 hours straight?
That was 16 hours.
16 hours.
Wow, holy crap!
We
And
waited.
that was
The sun came up. We were playing nighttime. The sun came up when we finished.
I remember when we were playing in the fields, the grass in Greenfield.
in Greenfield.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we were sitting on that grass, and we have like we use our cell phone to light the map, and we're like,
Yep.
One thing I remember is when we're just new as the Greasy Snitches, and we're grinding to join like our first epic adventure.
oh yeah,
And I think we're at the rooftop level, I think, at that time,
Yes, correct.
of like a Dwayne's condo building. And then it's past midnight, so they have to turn off the lights, but our adventure is not done yet. So we have to use like our cell phones and everything to enough light until we can finish the adventure. And I think we got like an epic photo from that too, like a really cool
Yeah.
photo from that. So
That was also another 16-hour run, but we started in the morning at the very least.
oh, really? Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Good
those were
morning.
the
Anyway,
days.
before we turn this stream into a 16-hour stream marathon, first of all, thank you very much for coming. I think I need to cut the stream at this moment, but we would love to have you again. Before we leave the stream, any thoughts, any message that you would love to leave with our audience? Let's start with DM Lens.
Oh,
Any final thoughts
um,
that you want to share about D&D or whatever?
try it. Try it once. Not just D&D. Try any TRPG that you have the opportunity to try. Try all of them once, because they all provide different experiences. And just like Dean Paul J said, you can find the one that suits you. D&D is the gateway, but if you are into sci-fi, there is Star Trek, there is Dune TRPGs. If you are into medieval fantasy, there is Pendragon. If you're into punching Nazis, there is Aktung Cthulhu. It's right beside me, so I had to show it. If you are into mysteries, there is Call of Cthulhu. And you know what? Honestly, my belief is that if there is a fandom out there for something, there is a tabletop role-playing game for it. So there is something for everybody. Try it all. That's it.
Very nicely put. How about you, DM Paul G? Anything that you'd love to leave our audience members before we end the stream?
Yeah. So if you're trying D&D, well, if you're kind of thinking if you should try it out or not, I would say yes, go play it. It may look intimidating because you have to interact with other people, sometimes with people that you don't know. But just take the leap, and then get. It will be awkward at first. It will always be awkward, especially when you start acting, role playing, and sometimes you have to be quiet. My wife, when she started playing, she played as like a silent cleric. That's how
Yeah.
she role plays it. Doesn't talk, and and like there's some sort of vow of silence. So you can do that too, and then the best way to learn is just jump into a game and play it. Learn it as you go. Your dungeon master will teach you how to roll the dice, which dice to roll, what rules to follow as you play, and it'll be easier for you to understand. Because once you get the feeling of, holy crap, this game is fun, I want to learn more, then you'll be more enthusiastic to read the books, the rule books, the lore, and everything. So play it first. My recommendation is play it first, learn from there, and then go read the books that you need to read.
It's also
Perfect.
not necessarily something that will always happen, but a lot of the people I've met in playing role-playing games have become lifelong friends with each other. So that's something for you out there.
Exactly.
Now, where can we find you guys? How do we get in touch with the Greasy Snitches? And what are
Sa bahay.
future projects that you have?
We wanna talk about Misadventures Lands?
Sure, why not? So, Misadventures with the Greasy Snitches is the story of a group of adventurers who are tasked by the Greasy Snitches to do things. And we're all trying to fulfill our character goals, but of course, adventuring gets in the way. It's a fun party. We've got Siegfried, the sketchy rogue, who is very poggy. We've got Lena, the small and very cute witch that somehow turns into something slightly horrifying when she gets mad. So don't make her mad. We have Ben, the Triton. So if you guys are interested in seeing other races as well, we have a Triton character. Ven is also played by a VTuber called Alona Minami. You can find her on Twitch. There is also Sarant, which is an Owlin character. So owl folk, apparently different from Arakokras and Kenku. You can also see owl folk there. And I play I play a necromancer. So
Wow!
What a wizard! Who knew?
Wow.
I play a wizard. So follow our adventures there. It's fun. Our viewers have started calling themselves the Greaselings. I'm not sure how I feel about that name.
Greasers, greaselings. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. It's usually Saturday mornings, but we're not gonna have it this Saturday because you get a chance to meet us in real life at our event. The Apology talk about our event.
Yeah. So before we go to the event, yeah. So tomorrow, the Misadventures of the Greasy Snitches will have a stream, so you can follow us twitch.tv/Greasy Snitches. I'm not sure the players know that we have a stream
Di ko
tomorrow.
alam yun ah.
Surprise.
Tomorrow night at
Hindi ko alam
9:30 9:30 p.m. Local time, Philippine time. But yeah, we'll have that there. And then come Saturday and Sunday, Finders Keepers. So this is a new player friendly Dungeons and Dragons charity event happening by Tavern and partnered with Neutral Grounds. It's happening at Vertus North. It's the mall next to Trinoma. So SM North, Trinoma, and then Vertus North. So you can easily access that place. It's a cool mall. I didn't it's like my first time being there. It's super fun. So it's gonna be in Japantown. It's at the fourth floor of Vertus North. So Japantown is it's not a food court, but it's basically a big square where all the Japanese restaurants are at. So if you want to play D&D while eating some Japanese curry or ramen and all those things, you can do that. And then what else? So we'll run one-shot adventures there during the morning. It starts at 11 a.m. Walk-in registration is available, but if you want to pre-register so you can secure your seats, we'll send the link somewhere there so you can pre-register. And then come afternoon, we'll have the multi-table epic adventure. So you have all these tables playing the same adventures together and to basically be successful at the game and complete the quests. It's also a charity event. Again, we're helping out DSWD's RSTC, which is kind of basically which helps kids, those who actually need help from 0 to 6 years old. And we'll have raffles and rerolls available so that your donations, if you wish to donate, will go to them. And we not just help the community and help the D&D community grow, but also help those that we can help in real life as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, and I think something's brewing at Conquest. I'm not sure. That's just I'm part of the Greasy Snitches. I snitch a lot of times. I think. I'm not sure. I just heard a rumor. So there.
Okay. Thank you very much again, DM Polgy and DM Lance, for joining us tonight. We can go on and on talking about Dungeons and Dragons, but again, thank you very much for sharing your time. Oh, Lance is gone now. For your time, talent, and your expertise talking about D&D and the RPGs. Again, if you want to play D&D, you can catch the Greasy Snitches. And on this weekend, that's June 11 and 12 on Vertis North. You can pre-register. There's a link below in the comment section. Or you can walk in. Just go there.
Walk in and register. Yeah, from 11 a.m. onwards. Yeah.
Yes, and you can also catch them in other events, upcoming events. Just follow them on Greasy Snitches on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. we have Twitter?
Twitter, yes, at Grease. Yeah, of course. We don't know our socials. Yes, at
I'm
Twitter.
sure.
Follow us at Greasy Stitches. Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Yeah. And All Aboard XP. Hopefully, at next All
yes.
Aboard XP, you will be there too.
Yes. So again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. To everyone who shared their experiences about Dungeons and Dragons and other TTRPG. Again, this is Dwayne. Willow was here earlier. Thank you, Willow. Just play more games.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
I am being kicked off already. So
Lance, we're saying goodbye to people. So
Bye.
just say goodbye.
Bye.